But Nigerians do. Some people go say, what's be the relationship between backing dog Chihuahua and River State? Why if this anytime when River State people they involved, it's either you go hear backing dog or Chihuahua. Well, once in a while. If you know, you know, right? Welcome to the show. And the 2nd of January, I know see because if you like say the time just disappear anyhow. Welcome to Updated Precious. Another beautiful day to bring on our updates of things that happen for inside Nigeria. Today, on a Friday, the 2nd day of the year 2026. Oh, it is it my belly well today for another more today. Ngwa make I go sharp go bring on a matter them with the shell for inside the country as it is hot today. Ngwa now, all right. So first of all, exposed according to an exclusive by the cable. They say how disagreement over fresh budgets, money inserted into fresh budgets by Wike and his team reignited Wike Fubara hostilities. So all of this problem of you cannot tell us who will be our governor and all that, waiting the cause now money matter. Right? Okay, so let's go. The cable has a story, and of course we will talk about them. But moving on to other issues concerning a backing dog, made you Governor Wike replies Fubara. And the Turaki-led PDP collapses structure into Wike's faction in Rivers State. PDP defecting governors will regret, party spokesman Ememobong, and they talk this one. And then ADC unveils timetable guidelines for 2025-2026 Congress's National Convention. Hey, Mutfwang assures Tinubu of 1 million votes from Plateau as he officially joins ADC. Any Obi supporter not in ADC is a disobedience. Kenneth Okonkwo speaks as he says, Peter Obi, my brother, has not joined ADC officially. Meanwhile, he gets to deal with APC for inside Abia State and 2027. Oji Kalo don't vow, say he go work for Tinubu's second term and APC go take over Abia State. All right, now, prosperity will not come by taxing poverty, says who? Peter, the son of Obi. Now they talk this one. We will declare war if Tinubu's government keeps prosecuting only opposition figures. Governor Bala Muhammad. Now they talk this one. Okay, so more like, you not all say they not be seen now. All of us, for all of us have sinned and come short of the glory. So if not only us, you won't punish our sin, we will declare war. Begin to punish those people for your cabinet who we don't see. So why is it that when they go to APC, their sins will be forgiven? All right. Pay our 4-month salary arrears or lose our votes in 2027. Taraba teachers don't want Oga Agbokefas, even as he don't enter APC like this. And then how I was frustrated out of Tinubu-linked Alpha Beta firm for exposing corruption. Former employee, now they blow more whistle. Nigerian resident doctors, meanwhile, don't talk, say, they don't hold emergency meeting as they won't get fresh nationwide strike again. And then NNPP dissolves party structures in Kano ahead of Governor Yusuf's planned defection to APC. Niger government wants private schools to shelve resumption, threatens sanctions. And then abductors of Kwara Monarch, son, others demand 450 million naira ransom. It is demand. That will be where these kidnappers they get to use the axe of this money. Now they shock me. The heavy for mouth. 450. Are you kidding me? 450 million naira. How families won't use get them? Okay, now. All right. Abuja Court adjourns hearing on ex-AGF Malami's bail application to January 7th. So Ingo still the chillax there. So even his son owns self, you hear the update. Why Abuja Court adjourned AGF Malami's bail hearing to January 7th, further remanding him son, wife in prison. And then bandits kill 2, injure 6 in Katsina village attack. Nigerian army confirms terrorist attack on Kano communities, denies reports of killings, cattle rustling. And Air Peace agrees to refund stranded Lagos Jamaica passengers, says Nigeria's aviation regulator. And then they talk this one. Uganda opposition candidate Bobby Wine alleges plot to arrest him before presidential election. Please deny it. But we know say this kind of thing. We don't know. We don't hear it before. Okay, now. Abductors of Kwara Monarch, I don't tell them. I say they say 450 million naira. And they ask for. Police fire tear gas as Kogi youths protesting rampant kidnappings, killings. That is, then they protest. Say we don't tire for the rampant kidnappings and killings. Now police they tear gas them. It shock you. Nasarawa attack suspect arrested, manhunt ongoing. But we hear say the driver where be say drive Anthony Joshua, they don't release him from hospital, and police don't mob him sake of how he used drive recklessly. But all of this and more matter now we're going to talk about this evening. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the show. Today is Friday and we have Prince Francis Chilaka with us. Good evening, Prince Francis Chilaka. Sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah. I said Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, sir. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Thank you, sir. All right. So there are some I don't want to talk too much about my state now because next thing it will tell me say we'll get expatriates. But unfortunately, expatriate conversation
when people are talking in Nigeria, Rivers is talking.
Okay, before we go to the expatriate,
do you people have a state?
Sorry, sir. Before we go to the expatriate.
Okay, go. I know. Go. Yeah, this is 2026.
No. I don't even want to talk about that.
I just want to spare you people. That you people have a governor that has no second. He went and came back. So I want to spare you people for that.
All right. So before we talk about that, ISWAP published a video yesterday of a community for Adamawa State will be Christian populated community where them born. And as they born the village, they put down with the inscription say the people must either convert to Islam or they could die or they will pay taxes, protection tax to ISWAP. And then, Congressman Riley Moore tweet about that and talk about say for all those who they deny say Christian genocide, no, if you want example, may this one show you as an example. Did you know that on the 31st night, the night before yesterday, Tuesday, when Thursday will be New Year Day, a community for inside Plateau State was also attacked by armed Fulani militias and then killed 9 people for inside that attack. Of course, raise houses. So these attacks, they say they need to stop. But Oga Netanyahu don't they talk saying again 3 different times now. He don't talk him twice when he did with Donald Trump or when they for US. He don't talk him say in no good day to say in fact Israel no go tolerate the activities of extremists, Islam extremists, especially terrorists, and especially for Nigeria. Make I quickly take a reaction to those before we go into our internal politics.
Well, this is 2026. Today is the second day in the year of 2026, and we're carrying over. People went to church. They say they're carrying over.
Crossover nights.
Crossover. Now they did crossover. We are carrying over. They crossed over. Then they crossed the Red Sea and came to Nigeria, to a country. No, we are carrying over the sins, the problems, the heartbreaks. All the problems of 2025, the killings, the maiming, the kidnapping, and all of that. We're carrying them over into 2026, and it is so sad and shameful. But you see, the reality on ground now is the fact that it's becoming obvious to everyone what is playing out in the north. And it's also becoming obvious to everyone the intentions of those who call themselves bandits, who are before now referred to themselves as bandits, Boko Haram, ISWAP, or whatever name you want to call them. It simply shows you that there has been a calculated attempt to actually decimate Christians in Nigeria. And now the picture is coming out. The truth is coming out. And why am I saying this? I'm saying this because the whole of 2025, we kept saying, oh, there was no genocide in Nigeria. And then we saw a lot of supposedly men of God who also came out and said, oh, there is no genocide in Nigeria. But what they all failed to say, and the reality they all failed to face, is that there are a lot of Nigerians living in IDP camps. Why have they not been sent back to their ancestral homes? Who are those occupying those ancestral homes? And you know that in most places where these terrorists have attacked, 2 things have played out. They either burn that place down, or they ensure that they ensure that nobody from that community returns back to that community. So who are those in those communities? And is it that government is trying to tell us that those communities have become a wasteland? So these are questions that has been begging for an answer. And then now Gradually, they're coming out. Their intentions, they're making it known. They're no longer hiding it. I knew that with the attack of the American military on the 25th of December, I knew that a lot of things would unfold. And I will tell you that this year, it's not going to be Uhuru, because some of them are diehards. Some of them have been so indoctrinated that they don't think like human beings anymore. And they would want to, show their own strength as much as they can. But you see, for me, I think that what should happen now is that with what American government has done, I expect that the Nigerian military will be on ground. The Nigerian Air Force should be out there on a daily basis, continuing from where the American government stopped. And while they are doing that in the air, the Nigerian military should be on ground to ensure that nobody escapes. I mean, we've seen videos of, all these terrorists running, trying to move away from Sokoto State. I never knew that they were in Sokoto. I never knew that Sokoto was the headquarters of Lukerewa. I never knew that Sokoto was the headquarters of these bandits.
Headquarters.
Yes, nobody knew it. So it is now because of this bombing that we're beginning to know, oh, these guys have been there. They've been taking, that's where they take their command from. That's where the control base is. And when the American government bombed Sokoto, everybody was like saying, oh, they just bombed an empty land. But then the story has come out. So yes, the Christians must be ready. It's not just about all your men of God giving all different prophecies. They should use those prophecies to protect the lives and properties of their members.
Okay. All right, let's move on straight to the conversation of today. So here you have it from the cables, according to this expose. So we did hear, cable writes that a disagreement over a supplementary budget proposed. Supplementary, in case for people who don't understand what supplementary mean, they don't already pass budget. Remember, I said the River State 2024 budget. The National Assembly passed them when Abbas, the sole administrator, aka expatriates, with Ogachilaka, they call them, where him been there in charge of River State. So now him presents that budget to the National Assembly and then come pass them on behalf of the River State Assembly, because then all of them were disbanded and suspended alongside the governor, right? Okay. So that same budget, when a National Assembly pass, will be the highest, in fact, will be a budget where big pass the one where Fubara be actually passed, where Supreme Court nullified. That budget was higher than the budget Fubara passed. That Supreme Court, threw away. That's budget now. They say Wike been tried through his team to add money inside the budget, to tell them, say, okay, make we pass an assistant one, add an addendum, add inside the budget, will be the supplementary budgets. But Fubara say, no, we don't need supplementary budgets. This one is okay for us. The budget we have now is okay. After all, 2025 don't finish. We don't enter 2026. We come pass new budget for anyone we want. See, that the reason where the problem starts. Make a read them escape reviews right now. Make a summarize. So a disagreement over a supplementary budget proposed by associates of Minister Wike, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT, and Timinalai Fubara, Governor of Rivers State, is behind the latest face-off, according to the cable. Now, sources familiar with the development said the rift rekindled after Wike pushed for a supplementary appropriation through state lawmakers loyal to him. But Fubara rejected the proposal, arguing that the budget passed by the National Assembly during emergency rule was sufficient for the rest of 2025. Now, in June, the National Assembly passed the sum of 1.48 trillion naira appropriation bill for Rivers State. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu proposed the 2025 Rivers budget in May after anointing Ebok Eteibas as the administrator of the state following the declaration of emergency rule and suspension of Fubara and the legislatures. Fubara had said on December 17 that there was over 300 billion in the state government account when he was suspended, but he met only 600 billion upon return. He leave over 300 billion. When he come back, he meets over 600 billion. With that 300 billion when he meets, just to clarify, he was executing projects, he was paying contractors, he was doing work. Now, sole administrator receive budget, receive allocation for 6 months, yet just leave, let's say, 300 billion again inside the account, spent the rest of it on what? Apart from salaries, waiting be the thing to use the money them do. No contract was executed or started and completed or even initiated. What exactly did the sole administrator do with the rest of the money? That's not the question everybody asked. Now, what declaration meeting in Port Harcourt that is causing the wahala? Inside informed the cable, according to them, that following Fubara's rejection of the supplementary budget proposal, Wike summoned key political allies, including members of the State House of Assembly, to the residence of Ferdinand Anabraba, Rivers' permanent political elder in Port Harcourt. Multiple sources said Wike declared he was ready for a whole political confrontation with Fubara. How dare he object anything I tell him to do if he didn't do it? According to them, quoting the words now from Cable, he says, Wike told them plainly that he was declaring fresh war on Fubara. A source who attended the meeting told the Cable. In early December, Rivers House of Assembly, through Martin Amewule, Speaker of the House of Assembly, accused Fubara of unapproved spending and awarding of contracts to his cronies. Remember that video? I can play it just as a reminder, but I know you may not want me to do so. Now, a lot of issues don't happen. APC alignment and Tinubu factor don't play more role. According to sources, Fubara sensing an imminent political showdown with Wike again after Ibi say him and Wike don't get all of this problem, can decide to take a decision. Just to let you know, part of the agreement or what Tinubu or whatever they did to settle the issue was to grant Wike access to the structures. So now we can get all the local government structures. That means all the local government chairmen, everything we concern local government, now we can get. Board of directors of NDA, the parastatals and all that, we can. So all the structures now in get. People will want to wonder that you already have all the structures. What do you want additional money for again inside the budgets if you have all the structures? Why do you not need more money? Because local government may receive allocation directly now. So you get local government funds to play with for 23 local government areas. Now you get all of them. We're seeing more money for Wike. Now, according to sources, Fubara sensing an imminent political showdown with Wike began aligning with the All Progressives Congress, a move approved by Tinubu directly without going through Wike. Now, APC governors also embraced Fubara. Even the chairman of APC embraced Fubara, partly because of lingering tensions among them and Wike, because Wike said get problem with the APC people. Now, quoting the Cable Night says, the thinking was that bringing Fubara fully into the APC would weaken Wike's leverage. An insider said, Fubara officially moved from the People's Democratic Party PDP to the APC on December 9. Now, the Rivers governor had been made to promise that he would not run for a second term, but it appears he would not do so in this new party. Remember that the initial idea was that he wasn't going to go for second term. He could be one-term governor. But right now, since he be a fresh word, don't they declare on him? Agreements, not be agreement again. We could begin break all the agreements. Now, failed peace terms. A source said that the peace terms proposed by Wike before the suspension of the emergency rule in Rivers State included a demand that Fubara reinstate Sergeant Awuse, the traditional ruler of the Emoha Kingdom, as the chairman of the state's Traditional Rulers Council. Fubara had sacked Awuse, a strong ally of Wike, in June 2025 and appointed Chike Wadu as in his stead. Wike also demanded that the appointment of the new commissioner appointment of new commissioner appointees request Fubara failed to implement because T9 never get new commissioners. Fubara felt those conditions would completely undermine his authority as governor. That was the final straw, his source said. If you also do remember, there were commissioners loyal to Wike that when that initial issue started, that the commissioners, they stand for podium, they tell Fubara, say, they no go fit obey him, saying that Wike go tell us what to do. And people were like, but you're a commissioner under Fubara. Why are you talking to? In fact, I think the first time they were suspended and recalled again, some of them used and they mock Fubara. I think that's the reason why he didn't do this. Now, the Cable, according to them, they say they understand that Unmet demands collapsed the fragile peace arrangement and reopened hostilities between Wike and Fubara. Wike began launching attacks openly on Fubara after the governor defected to the APC. On Tuesday, Wike said the leadership mistake in Rivers State will be corrected in 2027 and promised to reveal the details of the peace agreements that returned Fubara to power. Will they wait for that peace agreement because all of us go like Siam? The FCT minister, in a veiled reference to Fubara, said leaders are meant to serve the people, the people's will, rather than pursue personal interest. Are you serving the people's will as a leader, Mr. Wike? That's what people are asking. I know they ask. Then his father says, we will not make the same mistake again at the state level in 2027, but we will talk about it later when the time comes, he said. Now, a protracted political crisis between Fubara and Wike, it don't ensue. But before you quickly put mouth for that talk, I quickly let you know a bit of drama will happen today. In fact, instead of me to even let you know, make a plan. Because Fubara from nowhere today, when they talk, in the midst of him talking, I don't know why he talks like, I'm sorry, my the executive governor, sir, but I don't know why you're speaking in parables like an elder statesman, because I don't know the relationship between backing dog and non-backing dog that made Wike reply. He's not a backing dog. Let me see what's in Fubara talk. Please take a listen.
The only reason why the dog barks is when it doesn't understand. That is when the dog barks. If you have a dog in your house and your dog knows you, does it need to bark? So when the dog starts barking, maybe the dog is saying something it doesn't understand. Huh? So we are not barking because we understand. We know where we're going. And we have set all the things that are needed to make the journey smooth and easy sailing.
So immediately, Oganyes and Wike responded in a guard immediately, sharp. Take a listen.
The only reason why the dog barks.
Let me just say something. Somebody said, the dog barking. This dog that is barking now barks when Rivers people do not even know whom the person was. And the dog that barks made the person to be governor. Others ran away. And he's not afraid that the same dog now is barking. I wish him good luck. I wish him good luck. We are not talking about party. We are talking about the Real Hope family. All of us, we have all decided that we are going to work for Asuwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There's no discussion about that. But there's one who must take decision. Of course, you know who will make the mistake we made last time. We are here to correct the mistake.
All right. So just today too, we had Fubara employ 5 new essays. We be say those in, get commissioners based on the agreement. But rather than get commissioners and send to transmit to the state of assembly for consent, he rather employ essays. So you will get essay for works, essay for health, essay for finance. They will do the work of commissioners. What is going on in my university? The reason I have to ask this question is it be like say what did they call them again? It be like say ancestral costs they worry us for Rivers State during election like this. People would say it started from Peter Obi's time, and then Amechi, and then Wike, and then now Fubara. Must the Rivers governors always use the Rivers money to help other people win presidential election all the time? Because all of this argument now the expense of Rivers wealth. But let me take your opinion about all the issues that we.
Precious, first of all, I want to disagree with you in totality. I want to your last comment that they're using Rivers people's money to win election for other people.
Well, because that's what Rivers are saying.
It is those who have become leaders in Rivers that have become so stupid.
Oh, but I mentioned the clinical governors.
That they have lost integrity, that they have failed to realize that you remove the log in your eye before you begin to look at the splint in another person's eyes. So nobody has forced any former governor or present governor of Rivers State to use the state resources. Nobody. They just do it out of stupidity. They do it out of the fact that they want to be relevant. They want to be close to the
your point of divergence now, the fact that I say ancestral cause.
Yes, no, it's not ancestral cause. There is nothing ancestral. Now stupidity, greed, and selfishness.
No,
first and foremost, let us ask ourselves. I've said it here before, and I'll say it again. The problem between a Wike and a Fubara is not about the Rivers people. It's not about development in rivers. It's not about infrastructure in rivers. It's not about cleaning the oil that's ravaged Ogoni land. No, it's about what comes into their own pocket. What they get individually, what they get for themselves, their families, and their cronies. So each time they want to talk, they should not be putting the Rivers people in front. They're just gaslighting the Rivers people. They're deceiving them. It has nothing to do with the Rivers people one bit. And you need to also understand that I told you this in last year. I'm going to say it again. That this year, a Wike's power will be whittled down. The power Wike enjoyed before, the political sagaciousness he was exhibiting, was because he held sway in what was happening in PDP. And also because Fubara was in PDP, the so-called members of the State House of Assembly were caught in between PDP and APC. So now that Fubara has moved into APC completely, I will say it again, Fubara is now the leader of the party in Rivers State. Take that to the bank.
But
you cannot change it.
Wike is saying is about renewed hope.
So listen, Wike is just looking, Wike is a man who is drowning. He's looking for something to hold on to. The truth of the matter is that the authority today in Rivers State, as far as the structure of the party is concerned, is Fubara. And Fubara is exercising it. I told you, I said, at a point in time, Fubara will decide whether this State House of Assembly speaker will come back or not. You watch and see. Now the real politics is playing out. Don't forget that a few days back, Wike was at the event where he was warning ministers and governors from getting involved in the issues of Rivers State. Because he has already found out that, some ministers are already aligning with the Fubara. Some governors, like Kopus or Manko, they're already aligning with Fubara. How many people will you fight? How many people can you fight? Are you the only man that has been a governor in Rivers State because you want to do good for the people of Rivers State? As a governor, why did you not ensure that Ogoni land was cleaned? You were busy building flyover like a Dave Umahi. Flyover. That is where they were making the money. That is where they were ripping the people off.
It's not development.
That is not development. Because if you go and take the contract sum of that development, precious, you will cry for your state. That is why my own governor in Imo State too, he has looked and he says, how do I make my, and I started building flyover. You come to Lagos, you see the ones where Ambode started. Why have they not completed it? So the point is this, whatever is playing out in Rivers State is expected. And everybody, any sound political analyst knew that the moment Fubara moved into APC, that it was a game changer for him. It was a game changer. If Wike decides to join, I said this thing last year, I said, if Wike decides to join APC today, he has no position. Except he decides to come to Rivers State to contest for the chairmanship of the party. But to say he joins the party, even when he wants to come into the party, it is this same Fubara that welcome him.
But the real issue is that everybody understands that Wike need the fights back down.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I say the real issue is everybody knows say we can the fight back down. It a fight to finish. So what
You
is
know,
the possibility to say
Precious, you know the every
clear the
fight you
issue?
dey
But
fight.
considering that he's still a political youngling, as it were, what's the possibility saying go fit stand the tenacity, the ruggedness of a wiki for this kind of fight? That you remember what if Fire one and motel and say they careful oh, and the bill like said it's not they come to pass.
The fire show where they one person where in there. Have you forgotten that fire show had a case over poultry business that he couldn't account for? What was fire show warning him for? Is fire show not ashamed of that thing he said? You are telling a serving governor to be wary, to bow himself, to lay himself bare on the floor for a former governor. And we keep saying we are practicing democracy. So I don't know, I don't understand where you people dig out your own democracy from. But like you see, like I said, like you said, Fubara is not talking like ancient of age. It's not, that's where he's talking. He's using proverbs, idioms to get to Wike. And as expected, Wike will respond. But the thing is, when they talk about a dog that is barking, how did Wike know it's the one that is barking if it's not the dog?
I don't know.
Name?
I don't know about that. But let's go back to
we can just believe that it's the dog that is barking. And he chested it. And that is why he responded. So there are certain things that are happening in Rivers State, honestly speaking, it is shameful, but the truth must be told. God federalism needs to end for Nigeria to develop.
Okay, but going back to the conversation, I mean, the expose by the cable and within the talk we cause a problem. If Wike has already gotten all the structure we need, remember that his first cry was about his structure. Let nothing happen to his structure. Let nothing happen to his structure. So, and President Tinubu was perhaps magnanimous enough, like people would say, to hand over the entire local government to him. People, they talk, say, first of all, the expatriates, expatriates don't enter my mouth. The sole administrator, no, they eligible to conduct an election for the local government election. We go they tenable, we go they substantive for a state. But it happened. I mean, somehow the president was able to bend the rule just so that Wike can have his way and be in charge of the local government. You have all the local government structure because now you give names of people who could be the local government chairman. Is that not enough? So why would he want more money? Why would he be asking the governor to insert, more money in the budget in the name of the supplementary budget? What did anyone carry the money do? If now he Wike be the percentile of this thing, will he do it?
He needs to maintain the structure, Precious. The structure does not come easy. He needs to maintain it. He needs money to maintain the structure. And that money will not come out of his pocket. Do you think that all the accusations of him giving land and all of that to people, you think he's just giving it because he's senseless? No. He's giving those things to people so that those people will also raise money for him to continue to maintain the structure. So that money, that's why I keep saying that this issue, this thing they bring up, governors and the federal government keep talking about supplementary budget. It is that money they want to eat. That is where they get the bulk money they eat from. So how can you want to have a supplementary budget in few months or few weeks to the end of the year?
I'm wondering.
That money will come, that money, the way they will share that money, Precious, you'll be shocked. So I support Fubara for refusing. Because now it brings us back to what you said about using reverse money to finance other people.
Because that was when he had to expose that he has up to 600 billion in the state coffers that they can manage with what
I support him for refusing that. That's the truth. Whether we like it or not, I have told you the wings of a Wike is being chipped.
But what's the implication of this for in relationship with, because some people they also talk, say the president, like say all is not well between him and the president. Say the president never won't see him lately. I don't know if it is true or not, but we hear that as a gossip that it be like say him as the president.
You see, there's a way you do something and you overdo it. And I would say this, that you must understand that a Wike, first and foremost, is a reverse man. He's not a Yoruba man. Whether you like it or not, tribe plays a big role in Nigerian politics. There are tribesmen of the president that would have told the president that this man is a Rottweiler. Don't bring him close. So people are already scared of Wike. I mean, when you see what is happening in Rivers State between the Wike and the Fubara, and you are in the inner kitchen of the president, will you want such man to be there? So these are things we must not throw away, and Wike knows that. And the people around Mr. President, they are very wary of a Wike. He's not a Yoruba man. It's very obvious. So the usefulness of Wike is dissipating. There is nothing for him to hold anymore. If you remove Wike tomorrow as a minister of FCT, Wike will be a nobody. And that is the truth. You know a man that has political sagaciousness, as people will say. A man that controls people. You will know him when he's not in office. And I'll give you a typical example of one. Look at BOMBSHELL. Is there any way you can put two of them together? BOMBSHELL is not in power. He's in opposition. He doesn't have government money at his disposal. But look at the crowd he pulls. Those people you see around Wike are people that are benefiting from him. If Wike cuts the money they're getting tomorrow, you will not see anybody. And that is the obvious truth. That is the gospel truth. So you think all this land he has been grabbing from people, demolishing houses and all of that, you think, I told you something the other day, before the end of, I think it was the end of last year, I think it was our last appearance. I told you, I said, look, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when he goes into his closet, he regrets putting an expatriate in Rivers State for 6 months. Because I'll tell you, no matter the promise anybody makes, you see Rivers people will never forgive Bola Ahmed Tinubu for imposing emergency rule in that state. And that is the truth.
But now he has two Rivers sons fighting to work for him. There is a Wike camp fighting to work for him. There's a Fubara camp fighting to work for him. Everybody now is fighting. So now in the receiving end, in the enjoy him.
These two people saying they want to work, do they control the masses? Do they control how bitter and how ashamed Rivers people are? That at a point in time, in a democratic governance, that an elected governor of their state was pushed aside and an expatriate was brought in to govern them. You think they're happy? When to them, there are other states in the north that had more intense situation, that had more problematic situation, that they expected that a state of emergency would be declared there, and you didn't declare it. 2027 is the people against the ruling party. Go and note it down.
Okay, do you think, how feasible do you think that is going to be anyway? I mean, considering what's going to happen now for politics. The president gets all the party, even though say PDP don't they talk, say all these people when they defect from our party, and I go regret them when the time come more, because all that glitters will not be gold at the
end. This is 2026. If you're talking of political parties, don't mention PDP.
Hey.
Those ones they're not even in existence. Don't mention them at all.
Hey.
Is it the when you look at PDP? Is it the PDP of Wike or the PDP of Damagun? Or I mean Sarki? Which PDP are you mentioning?
Sarki.
I forget. PDP don't die. They don't bury them. They don't even the coffin don't rot. Talk less of the body.
Hey. Hey. Okay. All right. So I mean,
when PDP was supposed, when they were supposed to do the right thing, they failed to do it. When they were supposed to have expelled the Wike from that party, They were hobnobbing with him. They were treating him like the bride. So what are they talking about now?
Okay, but
what are they talking about?
Still talking about that PDP way no one here. Oga Caleb moved twang for Plateau States, don't join APC. And right now, I don't promise President Bola Ahmed Tinubu 1 million votes from just Plateau State.
Do you see Mutu as a serious politician? Precious, do you see him as a serious politician? A governor in the state where people were being killed. His own citizens are being massacred. All he's thinking about is politics. Is it normal? Is there any difference between him and the one in Benue State? Yes. These are people who are not thinking with their senses. Your people are being massacred. Your people are being killed. Your people are being sent into IDP camps. Rather than think of how to solve the insecurity in your state, you are thinking of politics. You are thinking of which party to join. You are thinking of the next election. Shame out to all of them.
Sorry, sir. But
no, please leave Mutuang and what is the other one's name? Alia. These are not people you should even call human beings.
So those are executive governors. So bringing it back to the 2027 election, a lot of people don't talk, say, because of all of this defection now and all that, it is an easy game for the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to win the election, except something very drastic happen. I mean, we could look at the ADC now, where we say supposed to be the opposition. How much of a formidable opposition the ADC will be? They don't bring a timetable for their different programs, conventions, the executive meetings, and all of those things where they happen. But people, they complain, say the major component thing where the ADC is supposed to look at. Now, the sentiment of the country right now will be, we are on a good tilt on our mind go towards this election. People they talk, say, in the wake of this whole thing where they happen about Christian genocide and no Christian genocide, and Trump and Israel and Trump and Netanyahu's interference right now for insider politics and right to come help save Christians who don't know how sincere they about trying to save Christians. And the fact that Buhari don't rule for 8 years, a Muslim, Tinubu don't rule for another 4 years, a Muslim, and you want to leave another 4 years for a Muslim to rule again, knowing that after that 4 years, power will go back again to the north, which means another Muslim will not rule again. So you have Muslims rule us 8 plus 8 plus 8. So that I'm waiting people they talk. Say, is this something that ADC would really want to happen? Should they not take advantage of this small window they have now and look for a Christian? I am not saying a Peter Obi. I am not saying an Amechi. But just look for somebody who is a Christian to also show their inclusivity, because some people don't accuse them of being a jihadist party, a Fulani-driven party, and all that. Say they just the camouflage. So, do you think that they have the capacity to do that? Before I go to waiting, Kenneth Okonkwo, your brother, talk.
Well, let me say this, and I've always said it. I have that conviction that the man everybody's looking at, taking the flag bearer or being the flag bearer of ADC, it's not gonna be on the ballot. An article will not be on the ballot. See, ADC as it is today will not commit the same political suicide that PDP committed. As I talk to you, Precious, if ADC puts up a northerner or puts up an article as his presidential candidate, I will vote a Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
You will campaign for him too?
I will campaign for him. You know why?
Why?
I've told you, for there to be peace, there must be justice. And any peace devoid of justice is peace of the graveyard.
So
there
even
is this constitutional agreement between the political parties. It started with PDP.
Yes.
When they said, if you go 4 years or 8 years in the north, it comes. And since PDP started it, other political parties adopted it.
But that was why Jonathan broke that in 2015. He knew it was time for the and he insisted.
Nobody broke anything.
That's why his administration was toppled.
Nobody broke anything. The reason why you're talking of Jonathan, Abi?
Yes.
The reason why Jonathan was toppled was not because of that agreement. It was because of the propaganda headed by this present administration. So it had nothing to do with whether it is not, no. It was the fact that, don't forget, that was when you had cheaper girls. When you had bomb going off everywhere and every corner of the country. It's the same APC people at that point that went to the US to talk and started the talk on genocide. Like they're even denying today. They started that talk. So the point is not whether their code has been broken or not. It is something that has become part of our democratic process. So if the North has gone for 8 years, they should allow the South to go for 8 years. At the end of the day, let it be a Southerner from APC and a Southerner from ADC. Then we will know that, yes, the equation has been balanced.
Okay, somebody they asked whether the North gang up with the South to promote Goodluck Jonathan. Was that not what exactly happened?
The North, if you say the North ganged up, who were the arrowheads of that gang up? We keep saying North. And when we say this is not North, we're giving them too much credence to what they didn't do. Go and read, go and find out the people who really ganged up against Jonathan. It wasn't even the North, it was the South, more of the Southwest. They control the media. They control the media. Have you forgotten? Who are those who led all the protests in Lagos? Did you see the North there? Didn't you see the likes of your daddy Geos? Didn't you see the people in power today there? When all of them were giving their speeches. So let us not keep pushing the blame to the North. No. We must in the South take responsibility for our actions and our inactions.
Okay, sir. All right. So going back to the ADC, Kenneth Okonkwo, your brother, was in an interview.
Okay, stop that.
Okay, sir. Kenneth Okonkwo was in an interview today. Sorry, sir. And I think they asked a question concerning Peter Obi's declaration for the ADC, which he said he's been a part of all along. And here's a bit of what he had to say, especially to the obedience.
I even heard when they were saying they will never enter ADC. And thank God they are all in ADC now.
No, we're talking about his supporters.
You know what I'm saying?
Voted him.
That is what I'm saying.
They can't enter ADC.
Hold on, I voted him. 2023. I'm in ADC. I believe in democracy. And I believe that democracy is the government of the people.
So you think all those other supporters will eventually follow your path?
Absolutely.
You know that there's a dynamic with Peter Obi where he has
people that
follow
the path of democracy. Because if you decree that this person must be this, no matter what happens, you're not a Democrat.
So that's the dynamic that people are aware of. The fact that Peter Obi's they are called obedience. They don't belong to a political party. Their political party is the man. So if you're banking on bringing them, they're not going to join the ADC. We saw that with the Labour Party. Many of them didn't join the Labour Party. They just voted the man himself. Is that a dynamic that the ADC is ready to handle?
Well, when I was in Labour Party, I said it was a tactical mistake. Telling your followers they can join all political parties. And I'm very glad that my brother Peter Obi, has changed the tactic. If you listen to his interview on X Space, he said all the obedience should go and register as members of ADC. So if you are an obedient and you're not in ADC, sorry, you're not an obedient. You are a disobedient.
Okay, all right, sir.
Yeah, precious.
Sir?
I remember last year I kept telling you that there is no difference between Kenneth Okonkwo and Daniel Bwala. Now you see it. These are the charlatans who parade themselves as leaders, as politicians. Suddenly, and as he has become a saint, he has been washed, he has been given a rebirth. Suddenly, he's now seeing Peter Obi as the Messiah he saw before. See, the likes of Kenneth Okonkwo, like I said the other day, they are not instrumental to the obedient family. They have nothing, they have no contribution. They have nothing to bring to the obedient family. But like I said, I'll say this, I am happy, precious.
Sir?
I am happy that Peter Obi, in his wisdom, did not collapse the obedient movement into Labour Party. which was what Abure and Co wanted. And that was where his problem with them really started. I am happy he did not do that. Because looking back, if he had done that, it would have been a deal. And that is what Labour Party needs to understand. Everybody needs to understand that the obedience you are talking about is Obi. The obedience in obedience is Obi, nothing else. Wherever Obi goes, the obedient will follow. There are no two ways about it. And his declaration, formal declaration for ADC, is the wisest political move he has ever made. I don't know if you saw the press release issued by Labour Party.
Oh yes,
same day.
I didn't want to give credence to that when he said that.
No. There was something that was said in that press release that got me worried. It got me really, really worried. And I started saying, it appears that the people who ensured that he failed were those with him in that party. How can you not tell us that the Southeast, that was the language, that the Southeast have suffered? They have been denied infrastructural development because the Labour Party gave their ticket to a Peter Obi. Do you know how dangerous that is? That is a statement that is referred to as hate speech. Hate speech. You are saying that because Peter Obi was given ticket of Labour Party, then Mr. President decided that there will be no. They even mocked the governor of Imo State, Popus Adema, that the whole Southeast have only 4 or 5 ministers, while some states have more than 6 ministers. That is what a party that was in opposition was. That was what they can write. That shows you the mediocrity. That shows you the self-destruct that Labour Party has foisted on itself. So a Kenneth Okonkwo speaking now is like any other political jobber. I had thought that with all the mouth he was making, if Peter Obi comes to ADC, he would have left. He would have jumped fence. But no, he wants to start become another. He wants to be used as a spokesman again. Foul.
Do you think that that's where this is headed?
That is where it is headed.
So let's go straight to Imo Abia State, where we also have similar issues happening. We don't see the number 6 man of the country, one Alex Oti, say, make Alex Oti just pray, say he never even starts to no one contest, because if he contest, he go out for him. If he won't contest for governorship. And now Ojo Zakalo is saying that he's going to give, in fact, that they get as they go take drugs, say Abia State, APC go collect Abia State for 2027.
Which of the Ojo Zakalo?
Ojo Zakalo now, we get to.
The one in the Senate.
Is there another one?
The one that ruled Abia State for 8 years, that has nothing, no legacy, nothing to show for 8 years as a governor of the state. He still has the mouth to talk. This is to show how shameless the political class have become in Nigeria. A man that could not do one thing. That Abia State was covered with refuse. There was no access road, no light, no water. For 8 years, he was a governor. He didn't do one thing. He's now making noise. I don't know this kind of God where would they worship self when they allow all this nonsense to happen. Some people should not, some people God will just send them small visit, make their mouth see, make them not fit talk. You see a governor, the man has, in less than 4 years, he has turned Abia State into a land of hope. Now you see Ojo Zakalo and his nephew, his cousin, they talk rubbish all over the place. Are they not ashamed? If they go to Abia State, if shame, they go feel working for street. Then go feel what they don't feel shame. I don't know why people don't get shame again. I don't know why Nigerian politicians don't have shame. It is really annoying that men without shame have been leaders in this country. You are talking about Governor Oti that is working, that is is ensuring that the state becomes like a state. The man that is walking like the late Simon Bakwe, right? That's where charlatans are making noise. I pity for now. The kind of people we have these days as leaders, they are not worth the salt at all.
Okay, sir. So, I mean, going back to, 2026, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu don't talk, say, our economy will stabilize this year and say food prices go come down and things go normalize. And as we start the tax regime this January, Peter Obi, the former Anambra State governor, don't want the Nigeria. Say Nigeria risk deepening hardship and undermining national cohesion by pursuing a tax regime that places greater burdens on an already impoverished population. In fact, his words say prosperity will not come by taxing poverty. That's what he talks. Say, you know, go fit get prosperity when you tax people we already did poor. So he said genuine prosperity cannot be achieved through policies that make citizens poorer, stressing that economic growth must be built on trust, honesty, and productivity. He said quite a lot, and I'm sure you have an idea of the kind of things he can say. So this tax reform, everybody does it talk. Say why the presidents, the tax committee, all of them did bent on starting, in spite of the controversies or despite the controversies which surround especially the amended tax or the gazetted tax. Now, the National Assembly, they say, oh, say they re-gazette another one will be the original one with them pass. Ignoring whatever it is that the drama we hear will happen to the one with the gazette before. So that means we should ignore that there was actually a forged one. Nobody could be prosecuted for forging it. No apologies for the insertions we enter inside. No nothing. Then we'll just re-gazette another one and then we move on and start it immediately. Because the president has said that starting this 1st January is sacrosanct. Let me take your reaction to this, sir.
I mean, precious, when people like Malami and the others, like the governor of, I think, Bauchi State, when you see them shouting that they are being witch hunted, you think it is a joke. For me, anybody that has stolen from this country, anybody that has embezzled the funds of this country should be locked up. But we must do it in such a way that it does not come out as witch hunting. You have a Senate that told you from day one that they were this morning that whatever Mr. President brings, even if Mr. President put you in for what to carry give them, you adopt them. So you do not expect this same Senate to go and begin to find fault in whatever this presidency has done. They don't get the power, they don't get the boss. They don't get the integrity to do it. Like I talk like Mpata. I mean, you say somebody, they talk integrity. What is integrity? They don't have the integrity.
I never play you until they be saying answer wiki for Ikuri language. I go play them for you, sir.
I they come now. You know. Sir. Now, don't forget. I don't know if you have seen a tweet that has been circulating on the internet since morning. It was a tweet purportedly said, tweeted on the 15th of November 2020 by this same chairman of this tax committee.
Okay.
And in that tweet, he said, no government can become rich by taxing poverty. So if you put that side by side with what Peter Obi has been saying, the same stupid E-rats will come out and be talking rubbish about Peter Obi. But they're not looking at what the man said in 2020. What has changed between 2020 and now? What is it that he's seeing that he didn't see in 2020? What is the difference between the COVID period and today? Has the poverty level been changed? Are Nigerians living a better life? Do we have infrastructures? Do we have good roads? Are hospitals well equipped? Are public schools, are they functional? So these are questions. So the things you had, the only difference between COVID and now was that people didn't go out. But what has changed? with what he said in 2020 and what he's doing now. And the truth is, the man has been on every platform. He don't speak English. He don't speak Yoruba. He don't speak Hausa. He don't speak Igbo. He don't speak Ndoki. He don't speak Indoma. He don't speak every language just to convince Nigerians why the tax must go on. And we're asking, you are taxing people who cannot, you are not telling us that anybody that has not gotten up to 12 million in their account in 1 year will not pay tax. Today you tell us 12 million. Tomorrow you tell us 10 million. Next day you tell us 7 million. What is going on? What is it about this taxation? In the midst of taxing Nigerians, this same government is forgiving the debt of NNPC. Several billions. This same government has not been able to account to Nigerians the savings from subsidy is gone. This same government, our national grid is always collapsing. People in band A sometimes they don't have life for a day or two. So there must be something in this taxation that we're not seeing, that is only being seen by those in government.
So again, why the hurry? Why first of all the tax master will come and tell us say nothing will make government stop to do the thing by January 1st? Say
it is because of the powers that the president has vested on him. He is speaking, whatever that man speaks, he is speaking Bola Ahmed Tinubu's poor choice of words. And that is it. But in a situation like that, if Nigeria was a country that was working, if Nigeria was a country that had the semblance of good leadership, semblance of good governance, the National Assembly has the authority because they represent the people. The people send them there. They should have been the ones to say, suspend this issue. Everything that involves taxing Nigerians, everything that involves taking money from Nigerians, this National Assembly will never stop it. But tomorrow, let us say that, we don't want to pay them the kind of salary they're earning. We want to stop constituency allowance. You will see the way they will behave. That is when they will start backing, like Fubara will say. Whoa, whoa, that's when they'll start backing. Because it is affecting them.
Remember, they were supposed to go on strike.
Who?
The lawmakers now, because of the 2025 budget, where they don't give them consistency projects and all that. This is the tweet you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was responding to Kogi state government and imposing tax on bread. And he says this is just wrong. COVID or no COVID, no government can become rich by taxing poverty. I mean, are Nigerians richer now?
That Precious, the same question I'm asking. What is the difference between that period and now?
But you know that he makes it look like the current tax regime is focused on easing taxes from the poor and ensuring that the rich pays more. So is this something that we need to just perhaps give them the benefit of the doubt and see what happens?
That is something we are yet to see. But Nigerians, let me tell you the truth, the poor people in Nigeria don't have problem paying tax. They have always been paying tax. The poor people have always been paying tax in this country. But what we are saying is that it has been said that there is an infringement on the original document. There's an infringement. And what we expect from a government that listens, a government that believes in the people, is to say, suspend this issue. Let us investigate. That's what they should have done. But nobody wants to suspend it. And you know how much the government, even if they, after by end of January, they decide to suspend it, do you know how much money the government would have raked in? Is it not in this same country that for how many years Nigerians are paying 750 naira per household to what do you call it, to the discos? When Fashola was Minister for Power, Nigerians were paying 750. Do you know how much that amount came to into the coffers of this discourse until he stopped it? And immediately he stopped it. Did they complain? They didn't complain because they were ripping off Nigerians. So everything about this tax, because you have not explained it well to the layman on the street, and in the process of trying to explain it, somebody is not telling the layman on the street, say, this thing, not be the original one they won't bring. Now the one where they don't adulterate, they won't bring. Now you still expect the man in the street to believe in you? And that's why we keep saying that the trust deficit between the government and the people is at its maximum.
Okay, so why would they think the one would they think with the carnal eyes? We don't know what God don't plan for fun, because there's been lots of revelations and prophecies about how the year would go. And Oga Adeboye, for instance, don't see vision, see this year our economy will expand and improve. Another pastor don't see and say dollar will come to the lowest this year, to the lowest. They also see and say earthquake good day. But here now waiting, if you're waiting Oga Adeboye talk, make I just plan, make you see. So does that not mean that perhaps this tax law will start working? That's why he's saying this.
Concerning Nigeria, the prophecies are in two parts. I'm not sure I want to share the second part. I will pray more about that. If God gives the go-ahead, I may share the second part on Friday. But for now, he said this year there will be a reduction in hunger. It says small and medium enterprises will begin to blossom. It says something that I can only put down as reverse Japa. And many who Japa will come back home. Like I said, that's one part of concerning Nigeria. The second part.
Right, so you heard that. Nigerians are very excited, especially because of the reverse Japa. So a lot of Nigerians say don't Japa. Sir, are you smiling?
Precious.
Come back because our economy will be too
Precious, calm down.
I am excited.
Make you wear reverse coat for body. Calm down. Calm down. Not let me sing one of those in a reverse. Not saying I sing. I cannot sing one for you now. You see, you know why I'm laughing? As I'm talking to you, Precious, I know more than 300 people. These are close friends that are already processing to Japa. I have some family friends in Nigeria that have they've concluded arrangement to move their families to Ghana.
Ghana?
Yes, I'm telling you the truth.
Hey.
So anybody telling you this, the prophet, he didn't see why didn't they see the prophecy that Donald Trump was going to throw bomb at Sokoto?
So if it now happens that our economy now stabilizes so much that we now have Japan people coming back, what would you not do? Yeah, it's just beginning.
Precious, until that happens, the signs are not there. the signs are not there. For you to do that, first and foremost, there has to be electricity. There has to be good roads. There has to be good hospitals. There has to be security. These are the parameters. Then for your dollar to, for your naira to come up, the government has to stop borrowing. And you and I know that this government cannot stop borrowing. It is innate, it is in their blood. And they say, me, I don't have any problem with these people who are seeing prophecies. The moment you are seeing prophecy, and you're telling us that the prophecy is in two parts, you will give us one part, and you hold on to the other part. People are saying, some people carry Jesus Christ and God for inside pocket.
No. He needs to consult with the Holy Spirit to get clearance to say that.
When the Holy Spirit does not give you, it doesn't speak like humans. The Holy Spirit will give you a direct prophecy, not adulterated. Not when you begin to prophesy for people who are playing tete, who are playing football, who are doing betting. Permutation, palm 1 from 2, palm 2 from 3. No, that is not how the Spirit of God speaks. Let us not be deceived. The Spirit of God is not. He gives you the message. He doesn't give you a message and say, hold on. No. The essence of prophecy is for you to tell the people. The prophecy is not meant for the man who sees it. It is for the people. Give it to the people the way God revealed it to you. Don't come and be telling me that you see prophet. It's like somebody will tell you, I see you becoming an MD of NNPC. Meanwhile, the person you are seeing that vision for doesn't have school cert. So how is it going to be? How is it going to be? Nigerians just need to open their eyes. Nigerians need to open their eyes and face the reality. And that reality is that a lot of our men of God today, they don't see Jack. There are very few of them. You cannot be living in a comfortable, air-conditioned 10-room duplex. You are enjoying a private jet. You are driving a limousine. You don't even know how much fuel is costing. You come and tell me in that cozy environment, you see prophecy. Who did they prophesy for? In Jesus Christ that everybody is following, live that kind of life. Would he have sacrificed himself to redeem man?
Oh yeah, sorry. You got another pastor one I want to show you now. That one, the one where see something. He preached the preaching that touched the heart of our Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. Make I show you that preaching, because after that preaching, Akpabio come and talk, say, everybody when don't fight suit against, I am disconnected. This is the preaching. Just take a listen to it. Yesterday,
today, I want to share with you 5 simple principles that you can adopt in the new year to be able to have peace. The first is that the first principle for peace is you have to let go of your painful past. No matter what it is time to move on. So this new year, it is time to move on. Tell somebody it is time to move on. Now, we have to move on. This is what God is telling you this new year. So it is time to leave behind your worries. It is time to leave behind the people that slandered you, the people that persecuted you. And unless you leave the past behind you, you cannot grow. You cannot move on. That is the first principle. Let go of your painful past.
As the priest was speaking, he wasn't the one speaking. It was the Holy Spirit that was speaking through him. And he said, leave behind all things that happen in 2025 so that they don't drag you backwards. Hatred, avarice, feeling of being defamed, feeling of character assassination, being lied upon. Everything must end here in this church today. And you will move from here into the realm of the spirit and face Nigeria and what God sent you to do. I want to assure the priest that I have heard. And because of what you said here, I had almost 9 cases in court against some individuals, against people who defamed me, who lied against me, who slandered my name, and all. But listening to the priest, I suddenly realized he was talking to me. So I hereby direct my solicitors to withdraw all lawsuits against them.
All right, sir. So you see how preaching's ministrations penetrate the hearts of man. So at least Natasha no go face information lawsuit.
That one no be prophecy. That one no be prophecy.
I'm not saying a prophecy. I say preaching. An ordained man of God.
That is the
ministration. He ministers. Sorry, sir. Hey, your line don't freeze. Oh no, it has to unfreeze. I want you to. Hey, we've been somewhere. We lost you briefly.
I said the whole essence of preaching is to bring people closer to Christ, to bring people close to God. That is why we are called Christians, Christ-like, not church-like, not prophet-like, not GO-like. We are supposed to be Christ-like. Everything about your life should, show Christ. Exactly. So not be all this prophecy. Why they not say, okay, now, why all those boys they see prophecy? Why God not show them for that their prophecy say this 2026 where we want to enter? So say Akpabio go forgive everybody. Even those who accuse and say sexual harassment and everything, say go forgive them. You go want make the case closed. You know what they talk about them again. But you see, there's something about forgiveness. If you say you don't withdraw your case, are you telling us now that the accusations are right or they are wrong?
So say the way they keep your face as they talk, they close your eyes like you to your seeing vision.
No, I need to ask. I need to be sure.
Okay.
I need to be sure because if you do me something bad, they don't pay me. When I don't say you don't lie against me, I don't say make a letter. When the whole world knows, say in my heart of heart, I don't say you don't lie against me. I don't say make I close the matter. It means that I have admitted that what you said against me is true. Not be that kind of forgiveness Jesus Christ talk about. Jesus Christ's forgiveness has always been on justice.
Okay.
Justice and truth.
Okay, sir. I do.
So
I don't know.
All your people, you don't see the one when Odumeje pray. When he pray, come put hand like say he won't conjure. You know, see him.
Odumeje na my pastor. All right, sir. So, sir, moving on. So we don't defame my man of God, sir. Moving on to other issues. I mean, I'm sure you would have already heard that Malami and his son were denied bail today together alongside the woman they call his wife, and they don't postpone their bail application to the 7th of January. So that means it will spend at least the first 7 days of this year for custody. And there were excuses given that I don't want to get into for that. A lot of people, just like you said earlier, they talk say Malami was also very high-handed when he was the Attorney General. Now, waiting go around, they come around. While others they talk say, as they do to Malami, it's okay, but let them also do that. In fact, Bala Muhammad even threatened, say there are people in this administration who are also sponsoring terrorism. Who have made them begin name them too. Why are they only talking about people in the opposition? Bala Muhammad don't talk. Say if they continue to pursue position like this, saying go spit fire, say they go declare war if they continue to fight only opposition and leave every other person. So it's a case of all of not my sin, no big pass your sin. All of us don't sin. So no look at my own sin alone and all that. But let me quickly take a reaction as we open the phone lines.
No, I've said it when we started, and I said that you don't fight corruption from one side, you fight it from both ends. Unfortunately, we have always had successive government in Nigeria fighting the former persons in that government. And then the question everybody's been asking, a lot of us has been asking, is, if the late Buhari was alive, will Bola Ahmed Tinubu go after his men like this? Will he go after them? Don't forget that while the late President Buhari was president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was claiming to be the national leader of the party. You know that.
So they said.
Even though he claims that being the national leader is not constitutional, it's not in the constitution of the party, but he was revered. And he knew what these people were doing. And he closed his eyes to it.
Are you saying that they were all in cahoots?
Not be politicians. Now, party government to chop, I chop. Now, who they catch? Now, the thief. You're talking of Malami. Nobody's talking of Hadika. What's they call him now?
Hadi Sirika.
Hadi Sirika. Nobody's talking about him. This is a man that scammed. He on an open day 419. He scammed 200 million plus Nigerians. Aircraft we not see. Money we not see. Ordinary logo self we not see.
We spend money for that logo. You know how much we spent to do that logo? We spent a lot of money to design the logo.
They do them now.
Yes.
So what are we talking about? Yaya Bello now don't they tell you say one contest for Senate?
Yes. And Ingo Poshu.
And I'm saying Yaya Bello, when your EFCC chairman say, if he no program, if he no do this, he go resign. He never resign. No. At least Yaya Bello on the catcher when even the school when he go pay money, send the money back. Is that not enough to put him behind bars? Is that not enough? I beg, Precious, when we talk about these are politicians, they've taken the people for a ride for too long. They've taken the people for granted for too long. And it is really, really unfortunate.
All right, sir. So moving forward, just to let you know that Niger State government has warned private schools to shelve resumption, threatening sanctions because of insecurity. So say any school will resume, we will sanction you. Not gonna not resume more, I know yes, and I don't put me under tension when they kidnap person again. So that means the security of students can't be guaranteed in Niger State. As a matter of fact,
one of our Air Force drones today crashed at in Niger State. Are you not aware?
I saw that story.
Good. So it shows you that the insecurity in the state is still very, very high. And I'll support the government. Let our children be safe. If they cannot save us, save the parents. Let them save the children. Even if it is for another 1 month or 2 months, it is better than to have a situation where kids are being kidnapped and taken to a unknown destination.
All right, sir. So I'm still moving on with other conversations around insecurity. Remember, say, for inside Kwara State, they may kidnap a king and a son. Now, those kidnappers are requesting for 450 million naira as ransom. And people, they say, what's in they give these kidnappers mindset of how much they even ask for? How do they just come out and seek for that kind of amount of money? Where do they expect their victims to get them from? Bandits also don't kill 2, injure 6 for inside Katsina village. Attack will be happening for Katsina village. Nigerian army also confirmed terrorist attack on Kanu communities. See this thing, they never reach Kanu. Now you don't reach Kanu. They don't deny reports of killings and cattle rustling. So it's as if it's indeed spreading and it go far, far, far and far. Now, your Minister for Foreign Affairs, Oga Yusuf Turiga, been get an interview sometime last year with DW, a German television service. Here's an excerpt of it and what he had to say.
The US President has been criticizing Nigeria. How seriously do you counter the allegation by Donald Trump that your government is not doing enough against radical Islamists killing Christians in Nigeria?
I think we've explained ourselves, and my president put out a statement that explained everything. It speaks for itself. Nigeria's orientation itself is suited and is favorable to the United States of America. People like me, forget the fact that I even went to school in America. I actually grew up, the era during which I grew up, it was American music, it was American mode of dressing. So we are favorably disposed to the United States of America. But we also understand the workings of U.S. domestic politics. The whole thing about Nigeria being listed on the countries of particular concern emanated from the legislative arm of the U.S. government, and we were in touch with the executive arm, and they did not appear to be disposed to supporting that, but something may have changed. Maybe it's not having enough information, maybe it's not understanding how much the government was doing to fight terrorism in Nigeria. And you can see that the terrorists and the area that they operate in is the northeast of Nigeria, and it's a complex cross-border area. So they go back and forth. They run into Niger or into Chad or into Cameroon, and then sometimes they run back into Nigeria. And you've got the Lake Chad there with hundreds of islands. So it's a very complex terrain. This is where Boko Haram operates. And that area is heavily populated by Muslims, because all the other countries also have a lot of Muslims there. But again, when you talk about herders and farmers, this is not some biblical conflict. It's not Cain and Abel. It's not that all the farmers are one religion and all the herders are the other. Nigeria is much, much more complex than that. It's a mixture, and a lot of these herders are pagan. They don't even have any religion. They don't subscribe to any religion. So, and the same thing with
Precious,
the
I beg
farmers.
this
A lot of farmers that
no, I be want make it here and well. They say not be say the pagans and get any religion. I'm sorry, not be say
Precious. When a man in authority begins to lie, you will know that he's lying.
So sorry,
I've never seen an Igbo man that is a headsman. I've never seen a Yoruba man.
Ethnicity here. We're talking about religion. Have you seen a Christian like this?
It's not from ethnicity to religion.
Okay, sir.
These herders are nomadic. We know Fulanis to be nomadic people. Why is it that government is finding it difficult to identify the owners of these cows? You hear that the driver that drove Joshua has been arrested and charged. I think they're charging him to court.
Yes.
Why are they charging him to court? So if they are arresting the driver, why are they not arresting the owners of the cows? Why? Why are we having two different laws in this country? Who are the owners of these cows? Let us start from there. Let us even forget about the headsmen. The headsmen are the messengers. Who is sending them on the errand? Those who send them on errands, are they untouchable? They have no identity. They live in their houses with air condition and everything, but they are sending their boys to go and commit atrocities. So I think it is high time that they arrest the owners of these cows, because the herders are not the owners of the cows. On the other hand, we also need to find out who is arming them. Precious, if you have a shop and you employ people, and the people you employ, when people come into the shop to buy something, they get beaten, and whatever money they come with, they collect it. Who should be arrested? You don't want to answer?
I'm not
supposed to. Keep it quiet because it's not River State.
I'm not supposed to have an opinion.
The person that should be arrested. It means that the owner of the shop, because the crime is committed inside that shop, the owner of the shop is aware of whatever is happening and supports it. So if the police come, they should also arrest the owner of the shop. Because the police may come and they may not see the people who perpetrated the crime, but they should arrest the owner of the shop because he's the employer. So for your minister now to now begin to tell you, these herdsmen don't have a religion, that man should hide his face in shame.
Say they're pagan, some of them, that they don't even have.
Which pagan shrine do they go to?
So the question is, like yesterday now, I swap, come tell people, talk, say, if you no convert to Adamawa community, burn the whole community because they're mostly Christians.
Precious, those are no. Those are, they worship, what do they call it? Amadioha. They're not Muslims. Now Amadioha, they worship. That is to show you the cluelessness of our leaders. We leave the issue. Instead of addressing the issue, you leave it and you're talking some. You are telling how Nigerians have relationship, affiliation to America when you grew up, disco, America. Is he not ashamed of what he said? Now, so answer the question of why government has not been doing enough to curb insecurity in the land. Did he ever for once come out to tell us that, oh, in Sokoto, we have areas that have been where these people gather? Did he say that? Even when they went to America with the National Security Advisor, did they mention Sokoto there? So when you have people who just like to twist issues, you will know from what they are saying. How can you be saying that they are pagans? Not kind of leader when I know get for this country.
All right. Hello, good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hello, welcome, sir. What is your name, sir, and where are you calling from? Where are you joining us from?
Yeah, my name is Prince Jejema. I'm joining you from United Kingdom.
All right. Okay. You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you for connecting me to your program. It's a privilege. I thank you, Precious. You do good work.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
The way they bring for this year platform.
Thank you.
Now, timber and cat papers.
Thank you.
Where they hammer through with nail. They didn't miss it. They didn't do mistaken bombing. Their own are direct to the point.
Thank
and
you,
I thank all of them, especially
thank you.
Kashi, Dr. Kashi, and this bros you brought today. Forgotten his name. He's doing a great job. You see, Sister Precious.
Sir?
I'm telling our people, the way things are going, our BVC is useless. After you collect your BVC, at the end of the day, you vote. Supreme Court judge, they will tell you go to court. You reach at this Supreme Court, there, court will have BVC. Through ways that does being carry power, give who to who they like. Yeah? You see, that's why me at the talk say, many people they think of referendum. Referendum are the same thing with the election. Did they hear me? So?
But your constitution no make room provision for that now.
And no be person make constitution. My sister.
Sir?
Na person they make law, na person they change the law.
Okay.
Law is the law na person they make am for. No be law no go kill us. Now we make law, we cannot make the law. You see, that one. Two, my sister, they say, T.Y. Danjuma tell us, say, the act of Nigeria are facilitating, they are colluding, they are giving cover to the people that are killing Nigerians. This is the Fulani herdsmen terrorists that are killing everybody. Open grazing is an open terrorism. Straight to the point. If Nigerian government behave like Ghana government, the Ghana government, force it. They didn't be to the street. If all the whole herdsmen ranch today, any other person you see inside forest, will not say not terrorist because an animal they live inside forest. Are you getting me? It's as simple as that. They know this thing, but they know one do because to loot money from central bank is very easy in the name of fighting insecurity. So forever and ever we remain inside this insecurity. You see, that's why we people that get sense, they think of if you have your border, the Fulani terrorists they import, APC import, to do election, where they on top of everybody's neck today. If you have your border, have your nation separately, everyone will go back from where it's coming from. You will know whom be your people. Where they say you and the same water, eat the same food. You know how on the tie wrapper. But I go know on ourselves. It's very, very simple. This one where they join everybody together in the name of one Nigeria. They don't carry Sharia, 12 states, they run Sharia. Different constitution for the same one country. And we talk forever and ever. Nobody knows Sotokoto na headquarters where all these terrorists they hide. If not be America now, we can open our eye. They use Southern or Sokoto, the most holy religious state that cover everybody eye. Sokoto they want to pilgrimage for everybody. I think they get me. But today now, we don't know say that place na headquarters where they from, they distribute them throughout the whole country. So Precious, my sister,
sir,
you are doing a good work. We'll continue your good work.
Thank you, sir.
We'll continue to promote your channel, share your program.
Thank you, sir.
And I like it very well. I continue to bring these people where they hammer the truth, nail it and well, enter inside. So God bless you. Now, so when I say make I drop there, me I be member of IPOB. Our guy is Mazen Nadekano. When they go kidnap for Kenya, go unjustly put them for prison. But they don't know say I call covenant and then they carry go put for Sokoto.
So for there where you there for UK, just hold on.
I don't remember them now.
Just hold on, no vex, my brother. No vex.
Biafra with the go, sister. Thank you.
If I wait, make I ask you a small question. I say be member of IPOB.
Okay, ask me.
You say be member of IPOB. As you did for UK, there where you say you did from the commie, they know they see you as terrorists because Nigerian government say IPOB being a terrorist.
My dear, very good question. The whole world.
The UK government no say be IPOB member, or they hide them.
Yes, of course. We they hide. They come for open. Every day we do rally for UK.
And they know they see you as terrorists.
For where, only for Nigeria that they talk about terrorists, where IPOB is. When they proscribe us, America rejects that their nonsense. Even UK, where create Nigeria, reject the thing because that was the abomination too much. They only said that so that they will kill us anyhow, shoot us aside. That is all what they did. They continue forced flag operation for the inside the southeast. You hear insecurity. Nigerian media go help them, they promote that. Since now Buhari end the chapter, and they carry now they can go and just leave jail. You don't see all the whole unknown government. You don't see where they create for Eastern Nigeria. But God opened the anyash because the white Danjuma will be their general. Don't tell us say they are colluding. They are the one where they create all this wahala everywhere. But thank God America don't call Fulani name. No call any other group. And they all the whole name of terrorist sponsor. Like their name would be inside. No IPOB or Mazen Nanekano name inside all the list of terrorist sponsor. So we don't see them now. So Nigeria election is useless for Nigeria. And referendum will they go inside. That's where everything is going to end. Everybody go answer a papa name. You know, you go know your people. Thank you, my sister. Any other question?
No, not again. Not another for now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Prince Francis Chilakango, back and let you do the validation. Thank you.
Well, I'm sure you're aware that the fuel of petrol has gone up again.
Why is he always going up?
Because they said the information we're getting is that Dangote is shutting down his It's a refinery for maintenance or something like that. So the price is going back
up. I thought it was also important now. What's going to happen?
I told you, I
still agree. They decide the price of fuel. No, but no, could take this call. We'll come back to them. Hello, good evening and welcome. Good evening. Please bring your mouth closer to your mouthpiece. You sound a bit hollow where you are. Good evening. Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just called for two things, Precious.
Sir.
Yeah, one is to wish you happy birthday. Even though it came late.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
And I greet Chiraka.
He can hear you.
I greet you very well, sir. Yeah, been a parable than me, sir. And second one, I beg, Precious, how do you believe this kind of prophecy? How?
Hey, I believe
the excitement for this kind of fake prophecy.
I believe like the question I ask you first.
I don't think you're close to Shilak, he go slap you, but good night.
Fire, come and be going. Good night. Thank you so much. Hey, Oluwa. Prince Francis Chilaka. All right, let's conclude the statement you were trying to make.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I've said it before that we're allowing a private business to dictate the price of what the federal government itself should actually dictate. And that is an aberration. It's not acceptable. Dangote cannot be the one to dictate the price of petrol. NNPC should be the one to dictate. They should be the one to fix the price and allow Dangote to fit in and fit out, and allow independent importers as well. But as it is, if Dangote sneezes, the filling stations will all catch cold. And that is where we are today. It's unfortunate, but that is where we are today. So, to end it, let me quickly say this. The federal government needs to allow the opposition to breathe. They are putting their neck on the opposition. They are putting their knees on the neck of the opposition. The federal government should allow the opposition to breathe. Let us have a vibrant democracy and a vibrant, competition at the end of the day. Allow opposition to breathe. That is what democracy is all about.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Francis Chilaka. Let's do this again on Sunday. That is the day after today. We'll see you again on Sunday. Why you look me that bombastic side eye, sir?
The dog will go back for you on Sunday, not the small dog.
The way you just give me bombastic side eyes when I said let's do this again on Sunday. What did I do?
The dog will go back. See, now me, I don't call Fubara. And the dog go back for your head.
I'm innocent, too. I'm innocent. I'm as innocent as a dove. I don't do anything, no.
Okay, no, you see, you don't call yourself dog now. I talk back in you call yourself dog. You don't call Fubara. You don't call me. You see,
DOV. I not put E. I not put the G inside. Thank you so much. I appreciate you big time.
Good night.
Good night and God bless you. Thank you. And thank you to you Nigerians for being part of the show. It's always a pleasure to have all of you join us and discuss matters concerning our growth and development in Nigeria. This is just the beginning of the year and a lot of things they cooking we don't put for the pipeline. But as the year they go, we'll begin to unveil those things and we don't get one by one. But for now, it's good night. God bless you and hope you enjoyed the rest of your holiday before I start up proper.